What is up, folks? Jorge Nito here. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome back. Guys, today we have a super cool trick for you. I think, in my mind, it's kind of cool anyway. We're looking at foreordination. So foreordination is a little trick that I threw together. My hair, I'll tell you, every time. So, little trick that I threw together for that Halloween video. And this is, I shouldn't say that. This is something that I've been working on for a long time. The idea of using features in court cards, specifically the remedies or the black roses line. And so just like this right here, there's all kind of things in court cards where you could do like little ACAN effects, not ACAN, but predicted card at predicted number. That's what I'm getting at. All sorts of things that you could do. So Foreordination incorporated that, as well as the box reveal, which is in the remedies cards. It's hard to pick that up. Is it? Oh, it's on this side. There it is. So that's an 8 of spades reveal. And this doesn't have to be done with remedies. There are other decks out there that have reveals on them. The old school Black Tiger deck, Queen of Heart reveal. The new Advocates, it has one of those like the remedies. You could use the flashlight. The David Blaine, what are these? Split spades. So you have the 8 of diamond. My point is that you could do this with any deck that has a reveal on it somewhere. And even if it doesn't, you could just make your own. You could take a pack of bikes and just make your own on there somehow. So I want to give a big shout out to the Great Wu Ding, who requested this there in that Trick or Treat 2021 video. I'll leave a link in the description to that video if you want to see a performance of it, and I'll also leave a link to my Instagram performance, which is more concise and neat if you don't want to sit through the whole Halloween video. But yeah, thank you, Great Wu Ding. If you haven't checked out Great Wu Ding, run over and check out his channel. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description as well. A lot of super hilarious material that Great Wu does related to magic. Really great guy. Fun channel. Check him out. Without further ado, let's get into it. Foreordination. Okay, so a little bit of preparation. The 8 of spade is obviously the reveal that we're going to be, doing as the kicker ending. And so what you want to do is just place that on top, and you're going to want to force that card in whatever way you like. I used a dead cut force, and that's very simple. I just took one of the jokers. I did a reverse breather crimp. I made sure it was on top of the 8 of spade, right? And so no matter, how many times I shuffled or whatever, loosely shuffled whenever I went to cut, the 8 of spade was always going to be under that reverse breather crimp card. Okay, you don't have to do it that way. That's just how I did it. Okay, so a little preparation. You have your force card on top, and you have, or on the bottom, depending on what, what force you're using. So I use the queen because ultimately this is going to be what they think is the prediction, because this is the card in the box. I say, look, here's my prediction. The card's in the box. I shake it. I say, there's a card in there, So I'm making reference to, one, a prediction, and then also a card. I don't say also a card because I want them to think that the card is the prediction. But we come in with the kicker ending and show that no, actually, the box itself is the prediction. I'm glad that things worked out with the queen and we were able to, do some stuff, but we'll get to that. So you take this, and it's the idea of using the 4 of diamond in her hands, as sort of an indicator, right? So we're going to use the number 4 to deal down 4 places. So a little preparation. You have your force card on top. You have the Queen of Spades, in there just like this. And if you're using a different deck, you could figure it out. There's all kind of stuff on court cards that you can use for predicted card or card at predicted number type effects. So you'll get this card forced. Basically, they see what it is. Now, when you take it back, I'm not teaching the original method I did in the Halloween video because I specifically made that for the screen. However, I want to teach this one right here because it's more practical. It looks just as good on screen or for social media, but it really works in, physical performances. So you're actually going to do a tilt, but you're going to do it under 3 cards. So while they're studying the card, make sure they get a good look at it. You're counting off 3 cards. You're getting a break under 3 cards. And so when you get the card back, you're going to execute a tilt. I like to do this modified tilt where I break off half the pack. Now back here it looks, all kind of crazy. But like this, it looks like I'm just picking up half the pack. And I'm going underneath those 3 cards. Now they think that I'm going down here, but I'm really going back here. So I'm just loading this right where I need it for this to work, right? So I get it in there just like that. And so now it's loaded. You could do a false shuffle at this point, whatever you want. But after you're done with the false cut, the false shuffle, I like to do just a quick 0 shuffle and a scrape cut, which is like this. After a 0 shuffle. So I'm just presuming that you guys have a working knowledge of some of these sleights because I'm just kind of working through this routine kind of quick. You know that I'm used to just teaching sleights on this channel, routines and effects. That's not, my forte as far as teaching, even though I do them. I don't teach those as much on this channel. Rather, I stick to sleights. So anyway, you have the card loaded in the 4th position and you draw attention to the box. And you say, okay, I remember I said at the beginning that this was my prediction. And you just hand it to them. And so they're going to think that it's the card. And so naturally, the spectator is inclined to open, pull it out. And it's the idea of, okay, what's the deal? And you say, well, did you have a queen? And, they say no. And you just kind of play it off like, okay, well, if you look a little closer, you'll see she's holding a 4 of diamonds. They say, no, it's not the 4. And so, idea of grasping at straws, you say, okay, let's just try something else, let's use the number 4, or we could combine the 2 4s and use the number 8. Now, say they use the number 4, then you say, okay, just deal down 4 cards. And they deal down to the 4th card, and that is the 8 of spades. And then you proceed with the kicker ending. If they choose the number 8, the reason I have the dice here is to, if you were performing this for social media, you could, 1 through 3 would represent the number 4, 4 through 6 would represent the number 8. If they choose the number 8, then you would take the deck into your hand, take the deck into your own hands, and then deal down all these cards, but you're going to start second dealing at the 4th card because obviously that's the card. So 1, 2, 3, it's right here. Second deal, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm doing this slow just so we could all follow. And then it would be 8. And so they think at that point it's the end of the trick, and you say, I want to get to my prediction, and you grab the box, which, they may show confusion. You say, well, at the beginning, if you remember, I said this was my prediction. I said there's also a card in here, but ultimately this is my prediction. And I like to say I'm glad things worked out with, the queen and the 4 in her hands, and that was your card, but ultimately this was actually my prediction. At which point I do the little flashlight underneath the bottom, revealing the 8 of spades. Now, if you were using any other deck, obviously you wouldn't need a flashlight. You could just, hand it to them and they could look around. But anyway, guys, that is Foreordination, a double prediction effect. I hope you take it and use it and do something with it. It's not hard. It's actually fairly easy. So, guys, have a blessed weekend. Jorge Nito here, signing off. Be blessed.